In 2006, baseball legend Curt Schilling had a dream that would cost him everything. Fresh off winning his third World Series championship, the star pitcher invested over $50 million of his own money to build the greatest video game company the world had ever seen. 6 years later, it would all collapse in one of gaming's most spectacular failures. This is the story of 38 Studios. Curt Schilling wasn't just a baseball player, he was obsessed with video games, particularly MMORPGs like EverQuest and World of Warcraft. He'd game until sunrise, then head to the ballpark. In 2006, he decided to turn that passion into a business. 38 Studios was born with an audacious goal: create a World of Warcraft killer. Schilling assembled a dream team. Todd McFarlane of Spawn fame would design characters. Best-selling author R.A. Salvatore would craft an entire fantasy universe, and industry veterans would build not one, but 2 games simultaneously. The single-player RPG, Kingdoms of Amalur, would introduce players to the world. Then would come Project Copernicus, the MMO that would change gaming forever. But here's the problem. Schilling was developing 2 massive AAA games at once. The burn rate was astronomical, millions of dollars every single month. By 2010, he'd burned through most of his personal fortune and desperately needed more funding. Enter Rhode Island. In the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, the state was desperate for jobs and economic growth. They offered 38 Studios something unprecedented: a $75 million loan guarantee, the largest such deal in state history, to relocate from Massachusetts to Providence. Governor Lincoln Chafee, who inherited the deal, opposed it from the start. He saw the red flags. The company was already hemorrhaging money, the timeline was too aggressive, and the projections were wildly optimistic. But it was too late. In February 2011, 38 Studios moved to Rhode Island, promising 450 jobs and a gaming revolution. The clock was ticking. February 2012, Kingdoms of Amalur finally launched. Critics loved it, the combat was praised, the world was expansive, and R.A. Salvatore's lore was deep and engaging. But there was a catastrophic problem. The game needed to sell 3 million copies just to break even. It sold 1.2 million in its first 90 days. For most games, that's a success. For a company burning millions every month with 400 employees and an unfinished MMO still in development, it was a death sentence. Meanwhile, Project Copernicus was years from completion and bleeding money daily. 38 Studios was running out of runway, and everyone knew it. In May 2012, 38 Studios missed a $1 million payment to Rhode Island. Then came May 15th, the company couldn't make payroll. 400 employees didn't get paid. Schilling held emergency meetings, promising funding was coming. But behind closed doors, potential investors were walking away. Rhode Island refused to provide more money. The state couldn't throw good money after bad. May 24th, another missed payroll. Then, on July 23rd, the entire staff received termination emails. No severance, no benefits, nothing. Some employees had just relocated their families to Rhode Island. Others had turned down stable jobs to join Schilling's dream. In an instant, it was over. 38 Studios filed for bankruptcy, owing $150 million. Rhode Island taxpayers were left holding a $75 million debt. Curt Schilling lost his entire baseball fortune, every penny he'd earned from 3 World Series championships. The fallout was brutal. Rhode Island sued everyone involved: banks, advisors, anyone connected to the deal. By 2016, they'd recovered $61 million through settlements, but taxpayers were still on the hook for millions more. The debt wouldn't be fully paid off until 2021. And Project Copernicus? It was never finished. Leaked footage over the years showed glimpses of a visually stunning MMO with innovative mechanics, a game that might have been special, but it would remain forever unfinished, a digital ghost of what could have been. So what went wrong? Everything. The scope was too ambitious. You can't build 2 massive games simultaneously without virtually unlimited funding. The financial planning was based on best-case scenarios that never materialized. And Rhode Island's due diligence was catastrophically insufficient. They bet on celebrity and passion, instead of solid business fundamentals. Schilling's competitive drive, the same intensity that made him a World Series champion, became his downfall. He believed willpower could overcome financial reality. It couldn't. There's a small epilogue. In 2020, Thuck Nordic released Kingdoms of Amalur, R.A. Reckoning, a remastered version introducing Salvatore's universe to new players. The IP survived, even if the company didn't. 38 Studios remains one of gaming's greatest cautionary tales, a reminder that in the unforgiving world of game development, passion isn't enough. You need realistic planning, sustainable funding, and sometimes, the wisdom to scale back your ambitions. 400 talented developers lost their jobs, taxpayers lost millions, and the gaming world lost what might have been an incredible franchise. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of gaming. We'll see you in the next one.